Hello, YouTube. It is I, Hawkwing048 here, coming back at you with another video, and this is the case for the Heroes for Hire. Now, with that being said, we all know how this is going to work. I'm theory crafting the pair into the game. This is my 2 for special episode. And with that being said, roll the intro.
The Avengers.
Alright, starting off first, big and strong, we're going with Iron Fist. For those of you who don't know, the Heroes for Hire we're focusing mainly on Iron Fist and Luke Cage, Power Man. So first we're going to start with Iron Fist here. Iron Fist, anyone who doesn't know who he is, he's a master of martial arts. He has the ability to channel chi into his fist to punch the ever-loving shit out of people. He's a very good martial artist. He's a very strong fighter. He's one of the better hand-to-hand combatants on Earth. So my theories are, for his combat, he will be an extreme melee specialist, focusing on mainly several high-speed rapid combos. Basically, he'll have more combos to use than anyone else. He will actually be a straight-up... He will feel, in terms of combo potential, similar to a Dynasty Warriors character. That's my idea for what he should be able to do. For his ranged attacks, I'm thinking something similar to Cap and Hulk, where he has a single projectile attack and he has 2 different ways of using it. First, he has a long-range chi blast that he fires out of his fist for his actual range, and if he charges up, he does a wide cone-like shotgun blast in front of him to do more damage to do less damage, but to more people to stagger them. Now, for his intrinsic ability, I think channeling his chi into his body, augmenting his damage and speed of combos, similar in mechanics to Hulk's Rage. So basically, you can flick it whenever you want, and you will be able to just augment yourself whenever you feel like it. That's the theory I'm going with on there. Counter is a very flashy parry, debuffing defense by hitting the pressure points of the foe he's fighting. It'd be a very short 5-second defense debuff, though. It wouldn't be anything crazy. On to heroics. His assault heroic would be the classic 1-inch punch. Focusing on a single enemy, it inflicts damage debuff. So basically, they deal less damage for a set period of time. I'm thinking along the lines of like 10, maybe 15 seconds. And it gives them a taunt status. What does the taunt do? Makes them focus only on Iron Fist. Utility Heroic is a large burst of chi that buffs allies and debuffs the foes. And whatever augmentation you apply to that utility is what it will do. You can either do attack, a buff and debuff, defense buff and debuff, or you can make it a healing chi burst, but it doesn't do anything to the enemy. And for his ultimate heroic, he draws the power of the dragon itself from his own body. It comes out, spins around him in a large, flashy circle, goes up to the end of the air, and comes crashing down into him, causing a massive AoE burst around him and buffing his attack and speed for a few seconds. Probably around 15 to 30, my guess. Anyway, that's everything I have for Iron Fist. Next up will be Luke Cage, and then we will get into story implementations on how they got into this situation with the Avengers. And that being said, on to Power Man. Okay, now for Luke Cage, aka Power Man. My thoughts on his moveset go like this. Being that he is a massive powerhouse with enhanced strength and physical durability, I believe he would be an extreme close-range fighter using wide swings, clotheslines, and suplexes to dominate any foe he comes across. Close-range combos are hard-hitting with a lot of oomph to them. He has a grapple system similar to Hulk, but instead of smashing them around, he suplexes them. It would be beautiful, I think. He also would have several power bombs for anyone that he grapples. So it'd be similar to how Hulk can grapple human-sized enemies, but this time instead of slamming them around, he would be doing suplexes and power bombs to them. Pretty simple, but I think it'd be flashy and really, really fun. I know I'd play him a lot if he had that. So, for ranged attacks, because he doesn't really have any ranged options, I thought of having him do something similar to Hulk, where he uses chunks of the earth as his weapon. So instead of picking it up and using it as a weapon, he would scoop it up and throw it quickly. Kind of like a canned animation, where he can throw them a lot faster than Hulk, but they don't do as much damage. But his charge attack has Luke stomp the ground hard, breaking a huge hunk of the earth, knocking it into the air, and he punches it towards the enemy. Flashy and a little ridiculous, but Luke Cage has done this before in other games, along with several comics. It would look really cool, and I think it'd be very flashy and extremely unique. For his assault heroics, I think something similar to Hulk, where he does a sprint towards the opponent, but instead of grabbing them and sliding them to the ground, he football tackles them to the ground, or as I like to call it, a spear. If you know wrestling, you know what I'm talking about. Sliding them to the ground, following up with several ground and pound style strikes to the face. The utility heroic would buff Luke with invulnerability and armor for 15 seconds, showing the enemies just how he got the name Power Man. In his ultimate heroic, Luke launches high into the air, coming down with a massive elbow drop to the ground, causing a enormous room-clearing AoE blast, labeled Sweet Christmas. That is what I think their moveset should be. And with that being said, we will now get on to the story implementations. Okay, so for the story, I'm thinking something along the lines of, while on a case, the Heroes for Hire pick up a tip that Kingpin has something really, really dangerous, and they need to get it from him. And so when they go to find out what it is, they discover it's a world-breaking weapon. It's one of the Infinity Stones, or something along those lines. The Infinity Stones, the Tesseract, something like that. And when they find that out, they realize they're in over their heads. So they decide they need some backup, and Luke uses his connections to get a hold of Iron Man, and just explains the situation. And from there, you get to team up with the Heroes for Hire and unlock them as heroes to go and stop them, ending in a grand final battle against Kingpin, harnessing the power of this doomsday weapon, and inevitably failing to defeat the heroes with it. Pretty simple, pretty mundane, but honestly, with the Heroes for Hire, I don't really think they would go too crazy with them as, like, with their villains. Kingpin's usually a pretty safe bet for most New York-based heroes. If it's not the Heroes for Hire that are going to deal with him, it's going to be Daredevil. So, I mean, one or the other. Take your pick, in my opinion. But honestly, that's kind of my idea for their story. It's not that great, but I mean, I want them in the game, so I will figure out however it takes to get them in here. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope you did, because I spent quite a while trying to figure this one out in terms of their moveset and everything. But with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, if you have friends who play this game and you want them, and you think they would like to see these kinds of ideas, send them my way. Send them a link to the video and let them know what it is, because I'm going to keep doing these. And with that out of the way, this was Hawkwing048, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.
The Avengers!